bet when Jeff Keighley woke up today, he never thought he would get so much backlash about the Game of the Year of the Awards trademark. Oh, that's going really well for old Jeffrey, isn't it? And even as well, if you don't know this, Mr. Keighley likes to hog the camera as much as he can. He's a businessman. He's a snake oil salesman. He's got to get in there and show his so-called lean, mean, pretty face to try and sell you a product that you don't want. In this case, it's the Game of the Year Awards. He's forcing you to watch that particular rendition because no other version should be allowed to exist. Yes, Stuttering Craig on YouTube, his real Game Awards is not allowed to exist, despite the fact he's used the word real so you don't have any confusion which one you should be watching.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Who?
Jack Burton. Me.
They hunted him down. They murdered his friends. And they took the only thing he would kill for.
You know this guy? Yeah, but I'm not proud of it.
If it's a mission no man can survive, he's the man for the job.
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Fuck you, asshole.
So watch out for him and his babes of the 1980s. Hail to the Jason King, baby.
It's all in the reflexes.
Now, over on That Part Place, which thankfully does not paywall its articles because people like me and other content creators out there need to actually get this out to you folks. The Game Awards rejects the woke titles with official nominations. Is Jeff Keighley feeling heat from Stuttering Craig's The Real Game Awards? Well, he probably is, and he won't acknowledge it, which is pretty funny. So most assumed that the 10th iteration has been going for 10 years of Keighley's annual event, which is typically driven by corporate interests like Doritos and Mountain Dew, and the legacy games journalism elites would celebrate failed woke titles like Dragonfell, The Age Guard, Concord, Dustborn, and Star Wars Outlaws. However, those games received very little attention, while fan favorites like Black Myth Wukong and Astrobot ruled the day. Where was Space Marine 2 in all this? That should have at least got something. Terrible, isn't it? It's possible that this about face could be a response to Stuttering Craig of Side-Scrollers, launching his own video game show award dubbed the Real Game Awards. The one thing I'm going to say about Stuttering Craig, a little bit of a criticism for him here, is when he's reading out super chats, read out the super chat name clearly, not mumble it like Marlon Brando. Again, that is something egregious I absolutely hate. I think the only person that does a very good job of reading out super chats is Az from Heel vs Babyface. When I start doing live streams, I'll be also reading out names very clearly, taking my time. I don't like hurrying through things. I think it's a bit annoying when it happens that way. So the above games weren't even up for the Impact Award, which celebrates thought-provoking games with a profound pro-social meaning, according to Keighley. Those 4 titles, with their heavy-handed identity politics and social messaging, seemed poised to dominate that category, with many expecting at least one to appear for other big awards like Game of the Year, or in my case, Game of the Rear. That should go to Stellar Blade. Best Game Direction and more. The presentation, of course, was hosted by Jeff Keighley, a man who never backs down from an opportunity to be on the camera. Yeah, has he heard of Emily Spleen by chance, or Speen even?
Because I love you.
Oh, I love you, John.
Oh, I love you so much.
Despite its listed time start of 11:30 a.m. EST, the stream began with a 30-minute countdown. Of course it does. And once Keighley actually appeared, it only took 11 minutes to announce. So in other words, folks, just come back and replay the section you want to see. So is Jeff trying to farm viewing figure points here? It's not working, is it? So again, Astrobot, I've seen little of this game, but Black Myth Wukong, I guess, is the black sheep in this case. And I'm going to get into 3 articles after this quickly, folks. Again, let's not forget, folks, Black Myth Wukong, it was much talked about since 2014. It was in development since then. And Rebecca Valentine from IGN wrote this hit piece saying that the game was sexist, that the developers didn't allow women to be on the team. They had all these HR sexist posts going around the office. And all of this, by the way, was misinterpreted by a Korean so-called native Chinese speaker who Rebecca Valentine took their word for. I'm saying there because they were a he, she, whatever, who cares at this stage. And even Destin Legary, I made a video about that, and I'm going to link it towards the end of this video here in the end title cards, loves Black Myth Wukong. So funny that he's also a fellow IGN colleague like Ducky Valentine, and that he went against her unfounded claims. Now look, even if her claims were true, would it stop anybody from liking the game? No. So on Steam's DB most played hits at the moment, Counter-Strike 2 obviously still number 1. It's been dominating that spot for quite a few weeks. But at number 19, Black Myth Wukong, currently at 37,000 people playing it right now. That's still very good. That is still good numbers. It's a consistent run of high player counts on that particular game. But here, folks, you need to look at this because there's quite a recurring thing going on right here. So Game Rant, and this is written by Lucy S. I wonder what's wrong with her surname. Black Myth Wukong is the lowest rated nominee for the Game of the Year award with a Metascore of 81%. Some fans are unhappy with the 2024 nominees like Black Myth Wukong, are they? Compared to highly rated alternatives. Now listen, I watched Biggles last night from 1986. On IMDb, and I'm saying this off the top of my head, but I'll add a screenshot if I'm incorrect, has an average score of 5.6. And I thought, is it really as bad as people say to be? Well, I watched it last night for the very first time, and I can tell you, Biggles is an absolute banger of a movie. It's a PG-rated film, but it has hilarious dialogue like tits on TV. I kid you not, that's actually mentioned in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Look at that girl's breasts.
Jim, look, Jim, we need this cover. It's modern, it's stylish, it's sexy. It's what young America is all about today, huh? Tits and TV.
Maybe, Chuck, but it just isn't us.
And the title role of Biggles, as played by Nick Dixon with his unwitting sidekick, Alex Hyde White, they're rather two good gentlemen. And you've got some diversity in the movie, you sure do. But it's a fun, packed movie with some great location shoots. And despite that getting a very low rating on IMDb, didn't mean it was a terrible film. I just think people didn't want to watch it because, like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, are you drawn to it because of an IP that's either long forgotten or people aren't interested in? So again, the fact that Tessa or Lucy S here mentions it's only got an 81% score means nothing. But over on comicbook.com, Black Myth Wukong doesn't deserve a GOTY nomination. Why? I wonder, because its review score is 81 out of 100. Oh dear. Can this trend possibly carry on, folks? And over on thegamer.com, or the Barbie of video games, as written by Tessa S. Core, you know this chick because, again, she likes to have these ridiculous, dubious banners on X. I shall say no more. And she loves pronouns because she's very confused about what gender she is supposed to be. But again, if you want to look at this particular article here from Ms. Core, they talk about it only having an 81. In fact, that's going to be my thumbnail headline today. Just an 81, because it's the recurring number, isn't it?
Officer Deja, Agent Vu, Haven't we met somewhere before?
So what if it's got an 81 out of 100 on Metacritic? That still means it's a good game. These douchebags have nothing better to do. They're all butthurt because Rebecca Valentine didn't get her feminist way in Black Myth Wukong, a video game, by the way, which again, Game Science came out this year and said, oh yeah, Sweet Baby Inc., they wanted £7 million from us so they could diversify a game set in 1592 Chinese mythology with Chinese people, with the Monkey King. And apparently that's not good enough, despite the fact it's called Black Myth Wukong. Obviously black not alluding to black people, it's just the color, right? But apparently that's not enough for Sweet Baby Inc. Now again, I think some people are saying, oh, that's not a true story. But for Game Science to just come out there and say it, it's a baller move, because I think there's some truth in it. And honestly, Black Myth Wukong developers, if you see this video, if you want to send me some verified proof that Sweet Baby Inc. did in fact get in touch with you, let me make a video on it, man. It'll be absolutely wonderful to get it out there. So I think it exists because I'm like Fox Spooky Mulder from the X-Files. Any kernel of truth might have some more evidence behind it. If you peel away the layers, why not, right? But unfortunately, folks, at the moment, we just have to treat it as the Bermuda Triangle of myths. It's out there, it's probably true, but what else is really going on? I tell you what, making video games these days, if you're a developer, it's got to be a tough call, right? Because you've got to actually stick to certain boundaries. It's all corporatized now. It's all games by committee, or by, in my case, games by comtity. But unfortunately, folks, when you get things like, oh, Black Myth Wukong is the Barbie of video games, it's not flattering, is it? I mean, they're calling it Barbie Oppenheimer, Barbieheimer, that whole conflict with that film, and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, which I thought was very hilarious in a roundabout kind of way. But if you enjoyed this video, folks, leave a like, smash that subscribe button like you've been doing recently. And if I were you, and if you were me, you should perhaps return for the next video.